excuse me, because that was like Dew Ranch and Cheshire Cat. That was high school. That was like everyone's car, going to school, leaving school, and every time we'd go to a show down in Hollywood, that was what was playing in any of our cars.
And you know what?
Always.
Funny enough, I think I'm 5 years younger than you. But here in Australia, when in my youth, that was all my friends. So it's like as soon as we got a car, it was like, oh, let's play Blink-182. And I think at that time it was Blink-182, and it was Sum 41, and it was Newfound Glory. Those are the three bands you were playing constantly, and the night that we had this little tiny stage set up called the Roundhouse. It's at a university or a college. You would go, and we used to go there. And I remember that night where it was Sum 41 and Newfound Glory played together, and it just was mental. It was just mental to go to. I ended up in hospital that night.
What happened?
I was in the mosh pit, and I decided, you know what? I'll give everybody a good time. And I bent down for everyone to launch off my back. So
that's always a smart move.
And if somebody come back, somebody ran directly at me, tripped, and kneed me right in the ribs as I was like bent down.
Oh, did you break a rib?
I was lucky enough I didn't break ribs, but it felt like I broke ribs. I just did a little bit of cartilage and got a head injury as well because they landed on me. Which is all right. It's all right. But it was top night. I stayed till the end.
Of course you did. I would have done the same thing. I think I've told this story on the Taste. No, maybe I didn't because I don't talk a lot about punk rock or music on that show. But the last time I went into a pit, actually it wasn't that long ago. It was probably like 2-3 years ago. And it was a face-to-face show at this tiny, it's small, it's not tiny, but this venue in San Diego called the Casbah, which is probably, it's our most famous and well-known music venue, and it's been around for a long time. Anyway, it's probably like a 300-person club, and Face to Face was playing there, and obviously bands like Face to Face isn't huge, but they don't play 300-person clubs anymore. So I went with like two of my good friends who are also into punk rock, and we were drinking beforehand, and we were drinking at the show. I remember everything, but it's very hazy to say the least. And I don't know. I wish I knew what happened because then it would make the story more entertaining to tell. But all I know is that I woke up the next morning and my hand was in pain. And I went to the bathroom to take a piss. And I looked at my hand, and like this whole area was bruised. Bruised. I don't know if I fell and like landed and tweaked my thumb.
Wanked real hard.
Yeah, exactly. But that was, I did dislocate my jaw once. Somebody elbowed me and I closed my mouth and my teeth were like off. And I mean, same as you, I wasn't going to leave the show. So I kind of just.
It was like, that was either people were looking at you. We have I don't know if it's the same in America, but here in Australia, if somebody's like really like, we call it munted on drugs, and they've got that.
Yeah, what's the word? Is it a gurn?
A gurn.
Gurn, yeah.
And we're like,
gurn.
oh yeah, get your gurn on.
Yeah, that's exactly what my mouth, I'm sure, looked like to anyone who saw me. But no, other than that, I don't think I ever incurred any injuries in the pit, which is impressive because I did that a lot when I was younger, for sure.
It's because, and I'll go back to get to this story because of the band I like now. Like from that Blink-182, Sum 41, Newfound Glory, they had that kind of raw pop punk feel, Lagwagon, No Effects. And then I remember one night, and it was just, I think it was my first introduction to emo, like full on post hardcore emo kind of scene.
Yeah.
I remember one night, I heard about this band. And I didn't even listen to them before I went out because it was still the time where you just go buy CDs. And I was just like, no, fuck it. I've heard heaps of friends talk about this band. I'll go just buy their CD and put it in the car. And I think it was about 18, 19. And I put it on the car, and I just remember sitting there like mind blown because it was like the first song of the album was like raw, heavy, but it still had that kind of punk feel. I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking in love with this album. And
Wait, what band are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it was their In Love and Death album, and it was the very first song.
Yeah. Take It Away.
Take It Away. And I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. And from there, it was just a whole like rabbit hole of going down like bands like that, you know. Then my love of My Chemical Romance coming, you know, and then now I'm massively a massive A Day to Remember fan. I fucking love like I've got their tattoos of their lyrics on my arms, and then Falling Reverse. They're amazing. I saw them live not that long ago here in Australia. Violent Soho. You know, like
for
that.
sure.
So, and what I was getting to is like, I think I've told this story, but it was just sitting. My wife, we've only just been married, and she doesn't like my music at all. So she's like a Pink, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, all that kind of music. I don't mind either. Like I listen to it, but I'm not like I don't listen to it. Stop. But she thought it'd be nice because I went to a Nicki Minaj concert with her, and I just went there to watch tits and ass. To be honest, not really the music.
Which I'm sure there was quite a bit, but it's probably really young.
Yeah. Well, I was watching her because you know Nicki Minaj has got a lot.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
On her.
Yeah.
But she decided to get me a ticket to the Day to Remember, and she decided to go. And I think I have told this on my podcast, but I'll tell it again, guys. Brad hasn't heard it. And I remember when we getting there, and she's like looking at everyone like, oh, because everyone's like dressed like,
what? Where the fuck am I?
Black flag and like the big hair and everything like that. And she's like,
of course.
And she's like, oh, the smell here, you know. And I was like, it's because half these people haven't washed in a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we decided because she didn't want to go in the pit, obviously, so we sat in the seats at the back. And as soon as they come on, everyone's just done the white wall of death.
Yep.
And collided, and they're like punching and kicking and throwing, and she's just like, "Why? Why are they doing this?" And she goes, "Is it because the music makes them mad?" And I was like,
that's hilarious.
Consider fun.
That's interesting though, since you guys have such completely opposing taste in music. What is your daughter like? Has she started to get into music yet?
Yeah, like she's got this one song she loves right now, and like this morning I took her to daycare, and that's all she wanted on like repeat. I'll play it for you. I think I can get away with it, but yeah, she loves Taylor Swift. She loves Tones and I, like Dance Monkey, an Australian singer. You've probably heard it. But Billie Eilish, she loves her, and she likes Pink, but she likes all that to dance to. But in the car, she listens to my stuff. When we're in the car by herself, she listens and she nods her head. This is the song she's absolutely crazy about at the moment.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
And she sings
Don't you know, pump it up.
What is that?
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to.
Well, how did she get it? Who listened to it? You or your wife?
No, because we don't listen to that. Like, I feel like what's happened is like they've played it at daycare as a dance song.
Oh, yeah. They probably did.
Home, she's like, Daddy, can we listen to Pump It Up? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then she'll just sit there and dance to it. And she likes that, and I like to move it.
That's very similar. Like, yeah.
I'm like, dude, my daughter's gonna end up a raver. No,
dude. Yeah, I'm never gonna be able to get that fucking Pump It Up song out of my head now. Ever. It's gonna be stuck with me till I'm 6 feet under.
What song?
Pump it up.
That's the only lyrics. That's the whole lyrics to the song.
I already kind of put two and two together and assumed that. It's funny you mentioned the Used. That show, I saw them play with My Chemical Romance and a couple other bands. It was like some, I don't know, fucking emo fest 2000 whatever. My fucking wallet was stolen. I was dating this chick at the time, And we were sitting in these seats, and I was just totally chill, drunk, but still chill. And she was like, I want to go in the pit. And I'm like, I don't want to go in the pit. I'm feeling good right now. I like our seats. I can hear the music. I can see the band, and we're close. It's like, I want to go in the pit. I'm like, fine. So we go down, and we're basically standing like right on the edge of the pit. So that's kind of that area where the crowd just is undulating, you know? I got out of the show. It was a great show, and my fucking wallet's gone. So while we were like swaying and, you know, rubbing elbows with everyone, someone yoinked my wallet out of my back pocket. And I just remembered this. The only reason it was stolen is because I had to take my wallet chain off before I went into the show. If I had my wallet chain on, yeah, exactly. If I had my wallet chain on, I would have still had my wallet.
Just going to throw this out here. That festival you went to, did it happen to be called Taste of Chaos?
Yep, I think so. What year?
This would have been.
I'm gonna. I'll check it. I'll Google it.
They had the exact same concert in Australia.
Yeah. It was a tour. I know that.
Yeah, and it had My Chemical Romance. It had.
Yep. It's got 2007, 2005 to 2008. So yeah, that was the same era.
Rise Against were out there. Rise Against are amazing band.
I agree.
Because I met Rise Against at the band. I actually went and had Coke with them because they don't drink. They're straight edge. So they don't do drugs. They don't.
I forgot that they were straight edge.
They don't do meat. They don't do drugs, and they don't drink. So I end up getting like my album cover signed by them, and then they also had Avenged Sevenfold, who I hated. I used to like them. I stopped liking them at that concert. I don't know why. But,
really?
Yeah. He was terrible. The singer was terrible, man. He was terrible. Or a band that I had just started listening to before this, they were at the concert, and I really wanted to listen to them live, and I just fell in love with them. And I actually went to their concert they had last year because they decided that they were ending, and they went on a world-ending concert. Funeral for a Friend. You ever heard them?
I've heard of the band, but it's not a band that I'm exceptionally familiar with.
They're a Welsh band. I went to their where they played like my favorite out. They did an album in its entirety, and they played Hours, which is probably my favorite album of theirs ever. So they've got 2 albums for you to, if you want to take some homework away from after this podcast, Casually Dressed in Deep Conversation and Hours.
I know, dude. I love finding
by Funeral for a Friend.
My old roommate used to listen to those guys. I know that for a fact.
Amazing band. And I still listen to them every day today.
That's funny because you mentioned Avenged Sevenfold. I was just having this conversation with my my current roommate, and he's not really familiar with them. But dude, as a drummer, the Rev to me was obviously since he passed away, but I think he could have been one of the greatest drummers in the world for sure. That guy was inhuman in terms of how well he could play drums. And I never saw them. I'm really bummed. I never got to see them play with Rev. And now obviously I'll never have that opportunity. But
who do you consider the best drummer in the world?
Right now, actually, maybe ever, Eric is actually how you pronounce it, but he's the drummer for Fever 333, and he also plays in a band called Night Versus. Unreal. He is the bar none, hands down most talented and just technical. What's that?
Did you play with Goldfinger?
Yes, that's how I met him. I was shooting the Goldfinger show, and that's the night that I met Eric. And after I met him and realized, he was such a nice guy, like so down to earth, such a genuinely just humble and great human being. I just went down a rabbit hole on YouTube looking at all of his videos. Honestly, dude, he does things with drums that you didn't even really know drums could do. And like he brings in these experimental electronic things. He's unreal. Like as someone who appreciates music, just go watch any of his drumming videos. Because you're not going to get much of that when you listen to if you listen to Fever 333, great band, but it's not super technical, and he doesn't really have an opportunity to show off his talent. But on his, solo